highlighted before, and xsepower's up is the last arsenal that forZe possess in the last hands that they have available. He will be peeking and protruding just outside of Palace. A free drop onto Hobbit, and the remainder of the CTs not in position to thwart the bomb plant, and enough time for xsepower to now relocate. This is a winnable round, but he will get caught as he transitions across, but still puts the bullet in the head of Shiro. And there's no incendiary from Inters. He could toss that up into Palace and maybe force out the defuse. Instead, he will smoke into Palace. HE behind it, but xsepower with the perfect timing. Peak, clutching the 1v3 from Palace.
What a perfectly executed clutch there from xsepower. Able to swing out Palace for the kill on the A site. Gets the bomb plant, gets away. Hits a blinder of a headshot on the player at ticket. Shiro will be disappointed he didn't catch him there in transition. But he's about middle right now. xsepower is in ladder room. He's coming down. He's going to catch this MP9 off guard. That's going to be huge. Now all of a sudden they have to worry about B side. They do get xsepower down, but almazer does now have the window to come out Palace. He's going to get this bomb planted. He's going to have a 1v1. He's going to have so much time to reposition before Enters is ever able to get into a spot to actually try to make the retake work. It's a great smoke from almazer on connector. It gives him a little bit more breathing room to start slotting towards jungle side. He's going to pick the right area too, as Enters is coming through CT with only an op in play. He does have a kit that gives him a little bit of time. He's got a smoke as well to cover his defuse. The bomb's actually not planted for almazer, so this could be a bit of a problem.
This is such a dirty angle though, man. Oh no, he thinks it's an underarm smoke onto the bomb for a ninja, but Ninters misses everything. I think he had an AWP though, right? So he didn't have much room for error.
Oh my god. Gambit's
but you could see he probably thought, like, has he got the timing to go across and underarm the smoke into a ninja defuse? If so, I have to deal with it. And he suddenly, Hulk won't be planted. Actually gets denied. Flick's M4 denying Nafani's life. Flick goes in for another one, and now it comes down to Hobbit and Shiro up against the dual AWPers of almazer and xsepower. And xsepower springs in with one. almazer taking significant damage. He knows that both of the AWPs were last seen on CT boxes, and now finishes off almazer.
Nice
he may not realize that xsepower has quickly started to rotate through all the way towards catwalk.
Yeah, he didn't want to go window because he would have to pop the grate to do so, and he didn't want to give up his position. And so he will indeed go all the way over to catwalk. He will have vision on the bomb as well. So Hobbit's going to be a bit confused here. He has to eventually cross over and grab this. There is maybe a slight chance he can grab the bombs. Oh, that smoke will do everything he needs. He'll be able to grab the bomb now safely and plant unless he somehow gets spammed. But xsepower doesn't want to take the shot. He doesn't want to give his position away. He'll jump into window. It's all going to come down to this, Vince. Gambit hold on. Can Hobbit complete the hat trick and keep this game going?
Great awareness to smoke off connector, knowing that that play was very possible. And if nothing else, xsepower could have gone through connector and popped up. And now the pressure has really turned, twisting in the side of xsepower. That sharp, serrated blade. Hobbit on the ramp side. There is a smoke and he does have a kit. He has enough time to fake it once, but no longer. He's checking all of his angles. Now just needs to stick on there and hope for the best. Cross your fingers.
No.
Hope for everything he possibly can. And Hobbit, fortunately, had a Tech 9 there. That could have been on A. Did get one before being traded out, but there's not enough following up to justify an over-rotation on Gambit. So they do hold fire, hold into position. Flashes coming through. Face crack spotting Inters, but Inters M4 too good for the AK-wielding face crack. No 2 kills will be forthcoming before Nafani shows his hand on sandbags, and he will be bolstered up and replenished by a secondary player who's coming in. Meanwhile, Shiro still at the back of the site now has had a chance, and he's made the most of it. Oh, almazer's got 2, pulling up the Molotov, trying to isolate Exile, who out in the open believed in his aim.
Between 2 mines, though, Shiro, as he's kind of dancing back and forth. It's all going to come down to timing, if he can get this pick or not.
There's the pick. And falls away with an incendiary. Actually doesn't fall away. Stays in position, and Shiro, dealing with face crack, who just rushes straight through, switches to the AK, spraying up through the smoke, and there's another one. A beautiful 4K. And I tell you what, if there was any doubts about Gambit feeling the confidence, feeling like they could win it, that is the kind of play that inspires a team. Pushed fully behind this. Does Hobbit check his angles? He does. There's one. Spins around and takes the frag onto almazer. And he's already tagged down xsepower. This 1v3 for Hobbit is looking good.
He's winding back the years, Vince. He's back in 2017. He's got the same jersey on. Known for being that mid to late round player for that team. He plays a different role on the default for Gambit, but now he's back in familiar territory on a clutch. He even checks CT spawn to make sure that it's open. The bomb, I think he planted it in such a way that he can see it from virtually anywhere. So this xsepower guy, he is going to have no idea what to look out for.
Molly up and over, smoke behind it.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't have a kit, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah. And he knows where to spam too,
Hobbit. Don't do this to me. There we go. It's all right.
He's fine.
Never in doubt.
Never was. Well, once he got into the 1v1, I knew he had it. Hobbit's just too experienced in those situations. 2-on-2 here, though.
Hobbit will get the full plant. Shiro was watching down banana, not the cross. Another smoke comes in. Flashbang is good and actually lands deep, and that wrecks Hobbit. He had his back turned. Shiro now shows his hand as his trade-off against the AWPers. Shiro on low HP will feel compelled to play a little bit random, to get it a little bit loose with this. Oh, he's bypassed. That's so beautiful. The mind game's coming through as the bullet passes between the mind of xsepower, and Gambit take a 7-5 lead.
It wasn't even just the health. I think he felt... Speaking of right there in front of them.
Could be another one as well if Jerry decides to push him behind. Given the choice between aggression and passivity, we know what forZe like. That's some aggression, and they get the reward. Jerry able to then dip out back on the sandbags. Look how quickly forZe have rotated. Now suddenly 3 players coming out of the woodwork. xsepower, unfortunate, but a jumping Nafani saves his own life inadvertently before more flashes come in. Oh, and that's the banana control that we know forZe are so good at maintaining.
That organized chaos, Vince, and a good use of utility. That's what they were missing the bulk of this half. They get it right there at the end. We have to wonder if it's a bit too...
Move on towards the site. Shiro perching with his AWP into pit. Inter's trying to help his teammate out and does just that. The guardian angel of Shiro, who survives a bit longer, but a Molotov forces him out into position. But now Nafani, not quick enough to stop the plant, but quick enough to wrap into short and rapid form. And now with the spray, gets face crack in the back, leaving Jerry stuck in pit alone. That's a beautiful double tap into the head of Hobbit. Nafani playing an off angle, but Jerry takes him down too. And come the end of this match, how important could that moment be? Gambit has backfired well and truly, but Hobbit, the last man, is able to get 2, sprays in, lands the headshot onto almazer, and he may have done enough for Inters and Shiro to remedy the situation. That smoke's not great. There's a slight gap in there. So if nothing else, he knows no one's crossed and just flicks in through the smoke, finishing off almazer. The only slight silver lining over the cloud overhead is it wasn't the full HP player that went down, and Flick's still alive. Up against Inters. Molly, right trajectory, but won't do too much to help Inters clutch this round. They're going to come head to head, and Inters, no, goes down to the hands of Flit. Hobbit's 2k and 90 damage on the third